What is up? What is up, YouTube? So today I want to do day one of 100 days of HEX. Obviously, I am talking about the HEX launch phase in the last 100 days. So this is the day one out of 100. So it's day 251 out of the launch phase, which is so the launch phase is 351 days, and I think it ends on November the 17th. So what should we talk about today? What should we talk about in this video? So yeah, it's day 251 today. Last 100 days of HEX launch phase, where this is the last 100 days where you can send Ethereum and you send Ethereum to the adoption amplifier. So, okay, so that's kind of cool that it's just like 100 days left. And I think it ends on November the 17th, 2020. And the big payday is on November the 19th. So today I want to talk a little bit about will America collapse after the big payday? So if you look back at 2008 and all the drama there, and you see that they didn't really fix any of the core issues, they just bailed out the banks and all of that. And if you look at that situation and the current money printing, that these banks should have collapsed the last time, they did not do it. Like they just kept on printing and they were pretending everything is fine. But now it seems like a lot of these banks, American banks, it seems like they're going to collapse to zero. It may sound weird, but I've talked a little bit about this aspect in the past, about the concept of a global economic depth reset, and we know the artificial intelligence is kind of coming with in terms of like the technology the average consumer have. It's getting a bit better, and they're getting more competent tools. So yeah, I've been talking about this concept of a some kind of reset or some kind of major collapse. I see the corruption in the cryptocurrency industry. For example, how hateful people are about HEX, and it pissed me off. Like, it pissed me off so much that I see that the only way you can kind of make people really wake up to the reality of things, because it's not just about HEX, it's not just about crypto, it's about the bigger world. A lot of corruption, a lot of creepiness, a lot of weirdness, a lot of no accountability, a lot of nonsense. Probably the only way a lot of people can kind of realize that that a lot of things shouldn't really, those banks should have collapsed when they failed hard, and people should have had more accountability, so we could have been on a better path. Now we are on a horrible path with no accountability, and it's just like mindless money printing and horrible leadership, no integrity, nonsense. It seems like you may get a collapse quite soon, and when shit hits the fan, it's not going to be fun. It's going to be chaos, probably. It doesn't have to be chaos. Maybe we can skip chaos, but we consider human societies and usually what humans are doing, and we look at in the past, and it's like, okay, that's probably going to repeat itself. Okay, it's probably going to repeat itself. So November is kind of an interesting month because you have this election over there in America as well, and that we also have the big payday in HEX that month. That's pretty interesting, and I look at a lot of these so-called leaders. I go and look at their social media pages. Disabled comments. Okay, there's no way you can comment on their pages. Now we got a question like, Why do a lot of people disable comments? Because people hate them. A lot of people hate people that do not have any accountability. They're doing a bunch of nonsense and they're pretending that nobody's seeing it. But a lot of people are not seeing it. So you have this situation now where a lot of these leaders are disabling comments on social media pages and they're turning off the conversation. They don't want to see reality. A lot of them. They're in a situation now where they don't want to look at anything. Like they don't even see people's feedback. They should be ashamed of themselves. They should be in a leadership role, but they're treating it horrible. A lot of these guys, for big companies, for big banks, whatever, they're not doing a good job, man. Like they're running stuff to the ground. So we may see a collapse of America after November, after that election phase, after the HEX big payday, because I don't see anything getting better over there. And if it doesn't get any better, you're gonna have some collapse, and it's not gonna be fun. It's gonna be horrible. Okay, it's gonna be horrible. Like, yes, it's gonna be horrible, and uh, people probably should kind of prepare a little bit for anything. Prepare for anything. Okay. Now nothing has to happen, but oh my god, there is so little accountability. Like there is so little accountability that yeah, I don't see it holding up any long. Nothing. Like my god, it is so horrible. Like the whole situation with everything. And I understand there's a lot of factors in a lot of things. Like it's not easy to run companies, and maybe it's not easy to run banks. But I mean the lack of care. The lack of care. This is not gonna work, man. This is not gonna work for the next it's not even gonna work for the next couple of years, because it's like you need to do stuff professional now, because people are very pissed, and when people get very angry, it can get very dangerous. We don't want a situation where stuff is very dangerous. But when people when people don't care at all about anything, it gets dangerous. Like it gets very, very dangerous. Yeah, it gets very dangerous because people start hating on people. And I mean, really, literally hate on people. So I wouldn't want to be in a leadership position right now, because a lot of people are probably going to hate on you. And I mean, hate on you a lot. And we don't even know, like, if major things goes down, like if a lot of companies goes bankrupt, if a lot of banks goes bankrupt, if a lot of the core infrastructure kind of breaks down a bit, we do not know even if the internet can hold up. I'm serious. Like, we do not know if the internet can hold up. Hopefully it can. I really do hope it can. But infrastructure, I mean, everything's tied to money, okay? Everything's tied to money, which is why Hexicans are trying to do something better, okay? Because Hexicans kind of realized, wait a sec here, we can't print interest. We want interest. Why can't we get it in this stupid bank? Because they're so corrupt. They're so corrupt, okay? Now, Satoshi, we're talking a little bit about this. The problem with Satoshi, skirt Satoshi, with skirt, yeah, because it kind of feels like he has a skirt on when he's not on video. The problem with Satoshi is he thought that humans would do amazing things by themselves without leaders. We need leaders, okay? We still need leaders, but with integrity. You need some goddamn integrity, man. And these current guys, they're doing stuff. Like it's a goddamn parody. And they're doing it on purpose also. Like they know how horrible they are. So it's not working, right? And Satoshi believed that stuff would just work amazing if you just drop some technology and then just run away. Yeah, but it's not working, right? It's not working. It's not working, man. Bitcoin is not working. It has no users. You have to focus on the human beings. Bitcoin is not focusing on the human beings. It just did the code, right? But it's like you still gotta be around and educate people. Satoshi didn't hang around. He didn't hang around. He didn't care. He just like released it, and then he didn't have time for you guys. Okay, so now we only have a bunch of scammers that are promoting Bitcoin and like a bunch of corrupt people promoting Bitcoin. My God, this is horrible. This is not working, man. This is not working, dude. And people gotta realize that they're not promoting something good. Okay, it's not helping anyone. Not helping anyone. Okay, not helping anyone. So yeah, maybe we wouldn't need a collapse if people tried to become a little bit less corrupt. But humans are not even trying. Like most people are not even trying. They're not even giving a fuck. Okay, most people, like they're like they don't even care. They don't even care about anything. And you can argue like, should they really care? Like, if nobody else care, should they care? It's a really good question, man. Like, if nobody cares, should you care? Good question. Like, amazing question. The way I look at all of this, the way I look at all of this nonsense, the way I look at all of this is you can only do stuff if people are dedicated. If people are willing to be dedicated, passionate about something, and focus a lot of energy in that direction, maybe you can do something. Maybe you have some competence thing going that can evolve to something more interesting, to a better outcome. Because more people are looking at stuff with their eyes, they're not just being a zombie, okay? Then maybe you can do some things. But I don't think you can do amazing stuff if you used to have the money or if you used to have the technology. You need the humans in on it too. And I mean in with their heart. And like that they really are in it. That they really get it. Because you can't do anything when people are like this. When they're all over the place, you can't do anything because they're not focused and they're not consistent. When they're not consistent, nothing happens ever. Nothing ever happens because you do something for 1 year and then they stop doing it, and then they do something else, and then they do something else. They become mediocre in everything they do. Nothing good ever happens. But amazing things can happen if people are consistent. So if we get an American collapse, which we kind of already see now with a lot of companies and businesses bankrupt, and it's probably going to spread like a domino effect in the world if they can't even get their act together, and they're supposed to be the modern world, the modern Western world. If they can't get their act together, that's going to spread a domino effect, because whatever America do, it kind of Europe do, and all of these other regions do. Like they just copy what they're doing over there. So if that doesn't work, that's going to spread a domino effect globally. And we do not know how that can play out. I do not want chaos. I don't want chaos. But I saw potential problems very early on. The reason why I got involved in Steam in 2018, because it looked like something that kind of had hope to make things a bit better, because people actually had some human heart there for a while. But then it turned out Humans are not dedicated enough. They're not dedicated enough. So that's why Steam failed. People are not dedicated to doing something real. They're just half-assing it. That's why they lost the Steam brand, and now they sit on this horrible shit blockchain called Hive blockchain that's run by corrupt people, and basically Binance owns 30% of the coins. And you believe that this is something ethical or moral or some shit that we have time to do. We didn't have time to do this shit. Like this is trash. This is human nonsense. No integrity, nothing whatsoever. I'm pissed off. I get pissed off when I see this trash. And everything is kind of connected, right? Because if one person is acting horrible, they're bringing us all down, okay? They're making everyone's life much worse, you know? And it's like, it's so goddamn pissed. It's so goddamn annoying. Because people are like, if these had some standards, if these had some integrity, we can actually have a cool world. But people get the kind of world that they deserve in many ways. Like, if you want something amazing, if you want something cool to happen, you have to invest a lot of time and energy into that direction, and people haven't done it, so you don't have anything cool. And then they wonder why there is nothing cool happening in the world. Well, probably because you are the problem. Now, I get it. Other people may be bigger problems, but you're probably also a problem. I think Hex is improving things. I think Hex is improving things. I think Hex has looked at stuff and really tried to build the best thing. Okay, you need interest, right? You can't get interest. We have billions of humans that want interest on their money, and they can't get it in the bank. Okay, we inventing it with the Hex smart contract, and then people get pissed off. The Bitcoiners, the XRP people, all of them pissed off. ETH people, everyone is super pissed off that we are bringing a real product, a real banking product to this industry that's needed, that's in demand, that has real world utility, that's not dependent on pump and dumps from BitMEX and Arthur Hayes. So yeah, you may see an American collapse quite soon. Doesn't have to happen, okay? But I don't see anything improving anytime soon. I if you just look at the last 20 years, it's only been getting worse. Now technology is getting better. Technology is kind of getting better, right? But a lot of other things are getting worse, like companies growing bigger, corruption growing more bigger. Yeah, like a lot of things are getting worse all the time. Now you can kind of counteract that if you have some intelligence, using your intelligence on a daily basis and act consistent and have some focus. But you need to invest. You need to invest your life into that then. And that's the thing, right? Most people don't want to invest their life into making something cool that can last for decades or centuries, you know? This is day one. This is day one out of 100 days of Hex. And this was the topic that I wanted to talk about today. In these other days, I'm not sure if I'm going to talk about every day, but I want to talk about cool stuff, okay? Cool stuff that matters, because there's just not a lot of people doing that. And it's so annoying. Like, why are you talking about your trash, man? This is not what matters at all. Nobody's gonna care about your trash in a couple of years. Nobody's gonna care. Nobody's gonna care at all about your trash. Like, talk about something real. Actually be useful. Like, you're not even useful person in this world. Can't you become a little bit more useful for the world? We only need a few super useful people in the world, and a lot of cool stuff is gonna happen, okay? Because people have so low standards. And if they increase their standards a little bit, a lot of cool stuff can happen, man. A lot of cool stuff can happen, man. So, yeah, we need more people, more high status people with higher standards. and integrity, and that can look at things, and that can care. Like, don't you care, man? Most of you guys don't care. And it's a problem, man. Build up a personal brand, make vlogs, put your face next to the HEX logo. Yeah, something that actually works in the world. Something that actually makes people's life better, okay? My God, you have to explain everything to people these days. Yeah, because they're ignorant. They're ignorant. They're so ignorant, man, and they don't want to learn. They don't want to learn anything, man. They don't want to learn anything. Nothing at all. And it's so annoying. So, in some ways, if nothing works, if it doesn't work, be a good boy and everything, you're probably gonna see chaos in the world. And that stuff is probably gonna work. Now, I don't like the idea of chaos, but I don't know. Mother Nature seems to be a little bit into that now, because how else? How else would people like finally become intelligent? So yeah, that is what I wanted to talk a little bit about today. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Now, we don't know what's gonna happen next day. There's always new possibility, you know. Something new can happen, and that's kind of what we're trying to do. We're trying to have a more positive outcome on the future. But that means we need to invest a lot of time and energy into building that and creating that, because if we don't create it, someone else gonna create some horror show probably for you. You're gonna have to live their story instead. Create your story instead. Have an awesome day, D2.